not all the little alleyway. So you see there's honest, no rip-off, no commissions. Have a look at it when you go down there, and if it's a nice big open shop with a flat counter, then you know it's a good one. But you don't have to walk too far up and down the main street of Kuta to find those little hokey pokey ones. They're tucked down these really dark, dingy alleys, or even worse, they're inside a shop, but they've got a little booth with a hole in it. And if you see stuff like that, keep away, because down some little side alleys, you can end up getting in a bit of strife. And here's another proper one, good signs, nice and safe. It's got a door, you're not going to get ripped off there, but be careful. Here, boss. Be careful where you're going, because, and I'm not saying any of these particularly are dodgy, I'm just saying you're looking at a much higher likelihood of inappropriate behaviour or scams or whatever. And the other huge indicator if they're running a scam or not is the price that they're offering. When everyone else is offering 10.2 and these guys are offering 10.395, that extra $3 is gonna make a massive difference. Oh no, it's $1, not even $2 on 100.
Yes, boss.
Hello, boss. But it's those little differences that turn up costing you thousands of dollars sometimes. So what do you do if you get scammed? Well, go back to the motel, you count your money and realise you've made a mistake or you've been scammed. The easiest thing to do is grab the hotel security, come back down with a big fella next door, come back down and say, listen, I've just been ripped off at the scam agent. Now, another place to go that you know you're never going to get scammed is right here, my mate's place, Katibet Tours. Ketut and Muzza, you'll see up here, we've got a million adventures that we've gone on. Ketut is probably the most reputable motorbike rental person and also tour operator in the whole of Bali. So if you want to get a tour while you're down here, this is the place to come. If you're dropping off luggage, if you've got any donations for Muzza in Bali, for Bali Donate, here we go. These are all heading up to my place shortly. And there's one more thing that Ketut does every single week. These ones here, that's it, darling. Every time you buy a SIM card from Ketut, he donates $5 towards a bag of rice for someone up in the village. So the first thing you want to do if you're coming to Bali, especially if you're bringing over some donated clothing, pillows, sheets, blankets, towels, is pop into KW Tours. I'll show you where it is. We're on the main street of Kuta, Legian, directly across from the Grand Mass and diagonally across from the Mercure Hotel there in Legian. And I'll give you a quick look at the shop front if I don't get run over at the time. Hey boss. KW Tours, you can't miss it. And that's my old mate Ketut. He looks after me and he looks after the rest of Bali, and he's definitely going to look after you. So I'm going to keep going because I'm trying to check out the scammers today, see if someone's going to try and rip my gold chain off. See you, darling. Hello, boss.
How are you?
Hey, bagus, bagus. Muzza. Hey. This little alley here goes from the main street of Kuta down all the way down to Benny's Lane. Now it looks pretty straightforward, but it comes out onto one of the most... There you go, brother. Oh, just doing a video, doing my job. There you go.
Very good.
That's better. How are you?
Good morning.
Get off the road. So listen, I'm here in Benny's Lane, right near my mate's tattoo shop, and across the road from one of my favourite bars. Unfortunately, it changed hands. Doesn't seem to be anything like what it used to be. But this little alleyway here used to be a major thoroughfare at night time. And if you've been coming to Bali for years, I'm sure you've been down Benny's Lane before. Before COVID, there was hotels, nightlife, street lights, and activity all up and down along this little lane. Now there's activity up all along the lane, and a good portion of it is theft and yeah, bad behavior. I actually feel quite nervous wearing my gold chain. I wore it for you guys to show something you never bring to Bali. Leave this stuff at home, guys. I put it on this morning. The last time I wore this chain in Bali, it was my own stupid thoughts. I didn't even think about it at the time, but the last time I wore this chain in Bali, I got robbed, and I had a high-speed snatch and grab on the back of a motorbike. Someone reached over, tried to grab at my neck at the last minute. I managed to run my bike into theirs. Both bikes ended up on the ground, and one of them got away, and the other end up getting a bit hurt. That's the way it is. Try and rob the wrong person. Listen, I've seen the biggest people I know, the strongest, toughest guy I know is a behemoth of a man. He's a bouncer and lives in one of the most dangerous parts of New Zealand. And his wife was attacked on this very street and robbed of a cell phone. It is so dangerous in Bali, and I don't know why at the moment it seems to be much worse than it has been for a long time. And I'm sure the police are going to start realising what's going on and start patrolling up and down here. But this is, and we're one block off the main street of Kuta. So you got Benasari Lane down there, you got Benny's Lane down here, and if you follow this all the way down the other end, you'll end up at the Magani on Molasti Street. It's sort of, Katut is just over on the main road here, parallel to where we are. Guys, do not bring gold chains to Bali. Don't bring earrings if you don't want to lose them. Chances are they're probably going to fall off in the pool or something harmless, but there's no point coming over here with expensive watches and expensive jewelry. You're not trying to impress anyone, because these people have got almost nothing at all. And I just can't stress it. It's so important that you practice safe behaviour. This is not a good street to be heading up and down at night time. One of my go-to hotels that a lot of people stay at is just around the corner here, and that's called the Champlung Mas. And there've been people robbed, and it's not hijacked at gunpoint. They run up, they'll grab the chains, they'll rip them off, and take off down the road. There's so many little side alleys and dark spots down here that they know they get away from you, and you'll be running up the road wondering where they've gone. So if you are staying in one of these little back alleys in Bali, there's another little dark alley, and that goes right up to the main street. From there they might have a guy waiting with a motorbike to bolt them out of your way. Got no chance of chasing him, honestly. You're better off leaving the chains at home. Oh, leave the attitude at home too, guys. And just be really aware, if you're going to be drinking here in Bali after 10 o'clock at night, and a lot of us are, I'll be honest, but don't be by yourself if you're doing it, because there's a really high chance that you're going to end up getting in strife. And they look for these opportunistic people, the ones that are too drunk to know what they're doing, the ones aren't looking around, and to be honest, the ones wearing gold chains. So I do feel actually quite nervous walking around here and exposing myself, because it's such a shiny little beacon saying, look at me, I'm an idiot, I'm wearing a gold chain, and I don't know any better. Makes you look like a first-time tourist. Be careful, guys. It's a shame that Bali goes through these cycles of drama and crime and not corruption, just rubbish. And there's a really high chance that the people doing all this aren't locals. There's other islands around here that tend to breed a higher level of greed or opportunism. There's that little lane that goes all the way straight back to the main road. If they come bolting down here, they could take off on a motorbike. They could be long gone before you even get close to them. So many of these little tiny streets and tiny little places that they can get away from you and cause you problems. So be careful, guys. Bali is going through another little spate of thievery, and the biggest one obviously is the scams. You see the scams all the time. You see them advertised. People talk about the money changes. Look, I just can't tell you enough how easy it is to get ripped off by a money changer. Here's a guy here. Now they've got a nice big sign, it looks all professional. Let's come up and have a look. Now, there's one thing I always look for if I'm looking for a money changer, and that's a flat counter. These ladies, hello, These ladies have a flat counter. They put the money on the counter, and it's all nice and up front. If they've got a little booth sitting on, or a little cover over the counter, it means they're trying to distract you. So while you're looking at your money, you can't see off to the side, and you can't see someone taking money back out of the pile. It is so easy for people to lose their money at some of these unscrupulous money changers. Most of them aren't licensed. Most of the ones that are doing the wrong thing, if they're offering more money than anyone else, geez, I tell you what, be careful, because what you think is an extra 10 or 20 cents in a dollar could end up costing you 200 bucks if they're skimming off the top of your pile. So be careful, and if you do get scammed, go back to the hotel security. It's a lot easier than trying to get to the police at the time, but go to authorities or get someone big and tough to come on down there and say, I was down here 10 minutes ago and I gave you $600 and you only gave me this amount of money or something in return. It's pretty easy at the moment, and if you're converting Australian dollars, it's almost exactly 10 to 1. So if you give them $1,000, you're going to get 10 million rupiah and a bit of change as well. So hey, be careful guys. Bali is, look, I know I'm going to get people turning around saying, why would you bother going to Bali? There's scams everywhere. I've travelled the world. There are way more scams in Thailand. There's way more scams in the Philippines. Don't rent a jet ski in a lot of these countries, because they'll extort massive amount of money. If you go to some of these adult shows in Thailand, sometimes it'll cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars to get out of the show, and the police will walk in and out and you can't even get their attention to help you get out of what's outright extortion. So there's a lot less of the serious sort of forced crime over here, but there's a lot of opportunistic crime. People just trying to take advantage of other people. It's a shame. It can ruin a good holiday. Oh, look, another thing, have a spare wallet. I always believe, have a day wallet. Come down here, find a guy selling wallets for $5, and just put enough money for the day in your wallet, leave the rest of it locked up in the room at home, back at the hotel. It's a good idea. I know hundreds of people that come over here with a burner phone, or just with the old Nokia, or maybe not that old, but an old Samsung phone or something, because you don't want to bring a fancy iPhone or something over here. The most you want to be able to do is get your maps and your travel details and stuff like that. Load WhatsApp onto your phone so you can find out where you're going, and also and so you can talk to the people you make appointments, or you've got a driver or something who wants to meet you up later. Phones, take insurance, and keep a copy on the inside of your wallet of your insurance details. So if something does happen to you, you've got an option. You've got someone that can open your wallet. There's all your details written down, and it's easy to find. So spare phone, a spare wallet. You don't need much in the way of clothes, because every day is beautiful over here. Even on the wet days, the rain dissipates pretty quickly. But common sense is the number one thing. And if you're traveling by yourself, remember, a lot of people looking for those people specifically, because they know they can take advantage of them, especially late at night. If you see a group of girls coming up and they're all trying to be nice and friendly with you, especially at night time, God, get out of there quick guys, because chances are they'll be touching up, and as soon as they've walked off, you'll find your wallet's gone, your phone's gone, or both. Be careful. If you're coming over, let me know, and maybe I'll see you down on a Monday night at the seafood feast, or catch up at one of my meet and greets. Otherwise, have a good time. If you are down in Benny's Lane, pop up and see my mate Agong at Benasari Tattoos. He looks after you, he looks after me, he's doing all my work, and he's got some more to do shortly. There is some really good places to be in Bali. Nighttime is one area, one circumstance where you've got to be pretty careful. Hey, how you going guys? Got to be careful where you are and who you're talking to, and where you're going. That's it, my rant's over. Have fun guys. See ya.